On a Windows server, we can connect the storage available from one server using the iSCSI target service onto another server using the iSCSI initiator service. And we can do that by clicking on Add Roles and Features. Right now we're on the target side. Click Next, and then continue on until we get to the File and Storage Services. From here, I'm going to expand the file and iSCSI services, and check the box for iSCSI target server. Click to add the needed features. Click Next until we get to the point where we can install, and let it install. While this is installing, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to Server 01, which is where we're going to use the iSCSI initiator to connect to this target. I'm on another server called Server 01. I'm going to go to where it says Tools. And from Tools, I'm going to go down to where it says iSCSI Initiator. This is the computer from which we're going to be connecting to the target. And it's prompting me to turn that on, so I'll click Yes. And now the service is going to turn on for the iSCSI Initiator. And that will automatically allow the target to be able to find it. I'm going to go back to the other server and check its status. The target has finished installing, so I'll click Close. And I'm going to click on where it says File and Storage Services, and then iSCSI. Now I'm going to create a new iSCSI virtual disk by clicking on the link, and we get the new wizard that pops up. If we have multiple disks, we can choose an entire volume if we'd like, or we can just put in a custom path. I'm going to put in C:\iSCSI, and we'll automatically create that folder. Now I'm going to give it a name. I'll call it Target. Click Next. And I'm just going to give it a small amount. We'll just say 6 gigabytes. Now we have the option for a fixed size, a dynamically expanding size, or a differencing size. With the fixed size, this is actually the fastest way to go. And you can add in data whenever you'd like to. The dynamically expanding option starts out with the smallest amount of disk available, and then it expands out up to the 6 gigabytes. Now the differencing disk has to do with the parent-child relationship, which we're not going to cover in this video, but it is an option that we can choose for the iSCSI virtual disk. And now we're going to choose the new iSCSI target. I'll call this Storage. Now we'll click Add. And if it doesn't find the initiator right away, all we have to do is type in the name of the server, and it should find it there as long as that initiator has started up. And we can see that the IQN, which is the number that we need for the iSCSI initiator to find the target, has been added. So I'll click Next. Now the Enable CHAP option will enable us to encrypt data back and forth between our iSCSI SAN and our server. Now if you don't have a need for this because you don't have security issues, you don't need to worry about it. However, if you do have security issues, then you'll want to enable both sending and receiving, and then put the same password here as you do inside the iSCSI initiator. And click Create. And it's complete. Now I'm going to switch to the other server and connect to this data. I'm back in Server 01. Now I'll put in the IP address of our iSCSI target. Click Quick Connect. We see it's connected. And now we can go over to where it says Discovery, and we can see the IP address and the port that it uses. Very important. And here's the favorite targets, which is just showing up the IQN number of our target device. And now it's showing the volumes and devices. So if I click Auto Configure, then it shows up here. Now what we need to do is we need to go into Tools, Computer Management, or we can just go back into File and Storage Services. But this way you get exposed to both different programs. And I'll click on Storage, Disk Management. And here it's showing our 6 gigabyte volume. Let's go ahead and click Online. It says it's not initialized. That's okay. We'll initialize it. Click OK. Now it's online. Now we can go ahead and create the volume. Click Next. I'll choose the maximum amount. Choose a drive letter. And format with either NTFS, REFS, or FAT32. NTFS has the most compatibility, so I'll go ahead and do that. And click Finish. Now it's formatting our 6 gigabytes. I'll go ahead and click on the File Explorer. And if I click on this PC, there is our E drive, which is actually storage sitting on our other server. iSCSI is very flexible because we can also connect from another server to this same storage if we're setting up a cluster, or we can set up multiple different partitions that we can connect to from many different computers.